He went to a ski resort in Quebec, Canada, and vanished into thin air as he was walking back to his hotel room. He somehow managed to be seen on plenty of CCTV footage, up until this moment right here, where he seems to be walking to the side of his hotel after a night of partying. But he never actually enters the hotel, and this exact moment right here is the last time that he was ever seen alive. Absolutely nothing since, and it's now been a year of not knowing what happened to him after this footage. This is the disturbing disappearance of Liam Toman, and I can't stop thinking about what could have possibly happened to him, so let's talk about it. This is Liam Toman. He was only 22 years old when he vanished from a Canadian ski resort in February of 2025. Liam was from Whitby, Ontario, and he came from a really big and loving family. He had an amazing sense of humor and was incredibly social. He had one of those silly laughs that always stand out, and he was really tech savvy. In the spring prior to his disappearance, he graduated from college with an electronics technician diploma, so there really wasn't anything that he couldn't fix. One of Liam's favorite things to do was go skiing with his best friends. So on the weekend of January 31st, 2025, that's exactly what they did. He and two of his best friends took off for a planned skiing trip to the Mont Tremblant Resort in Quebec, Canada. This is a really premier ski resort that's spread out over 662 acres, and it also features a European-style village where there's tons of restaurants, bars, and of course the main hotel. The main hotel is called the Tour des Voyageurs II, and this is where Liam and his two friends were staying. The trip started out great, but little did anyone in the group know that one of them would soon vanish without a trace. So on February 2nd, 2025, Liam and his friend spent the day on the slopes. That evening, all three of them went out for a pizza dinner, but after this, one of his friends decided to go back to the hotel to get some sleep. But Liam and one of his friends wanted to stay out and continue the good time. So at around midnight, the two of them made their way to a local bar called Le Petit Caribou. Together, they drank a little bit and had fun, and at around 2:30 that morning, Liam's friend wanted to go back to the hotel, so he did. Liam ended up staying behind. At around 2:45 a.m., a man in the same bar saw Liam approach a group of women that he just so happened to be with, so the man politely told Liam that they all had partners. But the man did invite Liam to sit with them for a little bit and chat, so he did. Then 3 a.m. rolls around. This is when Liam's friend texted him and told him that he made it back to the hotel and wanted to know what his plans were. But Liam didn't answer, so the friend called it a night and fell asleep. It was around this same time, 3 in the morning, that Liam decided to leave the bar as well. It was reported that on his way out, he was captured on CCTV alone, but he passed by two men having a fight on the street. Liam reportedly said something to them, but the men just laughed because Liam was speaking in English, not French. After this, Liam is seen walking back to the hotel, but he never ended up actually making it back to his room. In fact, it's not known what happened after this, but Liam vanished into thin air. The next morning, now Sunday morning, Liam's friends woke up to find him not in the room. At first they thought it was a bit weird, but really they thought that he probably just slept somewhere else that night. They tried texting him but received no response once again, so they ended up leaving and going skiing without him. As each hour passed, they tried texting and calling him more and more, and they grew more concerned as each call went unanswered. By 6 that evening, they probably had about 20 calls go unanswered, so this is when they really started to worry. Friends called Liam's dad to let him know what was happening, and his dad told them to immediately call the police, so they did. Right off the bat, police pull the surveillance footage from the surrounding area where Liam was last known to be. There they find CCTV of him leaving the bar alone, like I mentioned earlier, and then he's caught several more times making his way through the village on his way back to the hotel. The hotel is about a 3.5-mile walk from the bar where he and his friends were at that night, so it was a pretty long walk, especially at 3 a.m. Intoxicated, and when the weather is -30 degrees Celsius. He was seen so many times walking briskly back to the hotel, and then this is the very last time he was ever seen alive. It was at 3:20 that morning, and you can see Liam walking up to the hotel and talking to two people just out of frame. These two people he was talking to were later identified as seasonal workers at the resort. And they said they couldn't remember exactly what they talked about, but Liam seemed perfectly fine. So back to the footage, Liam is then seen pointing in a different direction and then walking off that same way. This area led to the side of the hotel, but after he walked out of frame in that direction, Liam vanished and nobody knows what happened happened to him. This led to a massive 12-day search for him by local authorities, volunteers, and specialized teams. With the weather being so cold, time was not on their side, so they needed to find him, and fast. Authorities searched using ATVs, snowmobiles, horses, and even helicopters equipped with infrared. I mean, no stone was left unturned. His family came in to help with the search, and in total, over 100 miles surrounding the ski resort and mountain was searched. The village was turned upside down. Over 100 officers went door to door knocking for any sign of Liam. They scanned the lake that Liam could have possibly ended up in. Every back road was searched, snow piles were removed, and divers even checked the swamp. This disappearance was huge, and everyone knew about it. Every single car that entered Mont Tremblant was stopped and given a missing person flyer, so this was an intense search. But even after all of that, Liam nor any of his personal belongings were found. It was like he vanished into thin air. This is when police returned to the security footage of Liam, which they had plenty of. But the weirdest thing that stood out was the fact that there was no video footage of Liam ever entering the hotel that night. He got close to the entrance, and then he was seen walking to the side of the hotel, but nothing shows him actually entering the hotel at all. Then authorities turned to his phone records, which provided some weird additional insight into Liam's last known moments. After looking at his phone records, Liam sent one final text and phone call the night he disappeared at 3:15 a.m. He sent a text to his dad that said, quote, "Meet me outside," end quote. It's assumed that he meant to text one of his friends that he was with at the hotel, not his dad. But this is something that really stands out in this investigation. So Liam sent that last text and phone call literally 5 minutes before he was last seen on security footage. And then after this, nothing. His phone last pinged in the vicinity of the hotel at 3:20 a.m., which is also when he was last seen on CCTV. According to his phone company, Liam's phone was active, online, and charged until 6:24 p.m. on Sunday, the day he was reported missing. So there are 15 hours between when he was last seen to when his phone officially went offline. What's weird is that it didn't abruptly turn off as if he fell into a body of water or anything like that. It just went dead or was turned off 15 hours later. So this left police wondering what the heck could have happened to him. As time went on, more searches were conducted, but it wasn't until late March that something was finally discovered. On March 22nd, 2025, a resort employee found Liam's wallet in a parking lot near the hotel where he was staying at. It was buried under some snow, which, when it melted, that's when they spotted it. His ID and hotel keycard were still inside, but Liam's dad confirmed that all of his cash was missing. There could be a few explanations for this, though. Maybe he spent it all at the bar that night, or maybe it was stolen, which could provide a motive for Liam's disappearance. Regardless, though, Liam's family said that he was always protective of his wallet and personal belongings, so he wouldn't just be careless with it like that. This has been the only clue to ever surface in the disappearance of Liam Toman. None of his other personal belongings, like his phone, have ever been found, and as of this recording, Liam remains missing. And although we don't know what exactly happened to him, there are a few theories. Theory number one is that Liam got lost and died of exposure. Leaning into this theory, some speculate that maybe Liam accidentally dropped his wallet on his walk back to the hotel that night. And I don't know about this specific hotel, but I used to work for a hotel in Seattle, and I would lock the entrance into the hotel after a certain hour for security purposes. So maybe this hotel did the same and locked its doors. And now without a wallet, ID, or key card, maybe Liam couldn't get into the hotel. Their website says they have 24/7 reception, but maybe Liam didn't know that. So one theory is that he talked with those seasonal workers about another entrance into the hotel, and then he walked off to the side trying to find another way in. He thought he texted his friend to come down and meet him outside, but instead texted his dad on accident. And then when his friend never showed up, maybe Liam wandered off trying to find some warm shelter or something of the nature. And then maybe he got lost and died of exposure. And maybe he just hasn't been found yet. Maybe he wandered off into the woods surrounding the hotel, and since everything was still pretty frozen, maybe he just slipped and fell somewhere, accidentally passing away. There is a lake somewhat near the village, but according to locals, it's not something that you would just stumble upon by accident. There's a lot that you'd have to pass through in order to get out onto the lake, which was frozen at the time. So it seems unlikely that he did that, and if he did, it seems like he would have easily been found by now. It's just weird that absolutely nothing has been found to indicate if this was an accident or not. Theory number two is that Liam was a victim of foul play. Maybe the two men who were fighting outside the bar that night followed him back to the hotel and struck when he was alone. As far as I know, though, they weren't ever caught following him on security footage. so this seems unlikely. Maybe he wandered off trying to keep warm, waiting for his friend to reply, and was a victim of a hit and run. And then the person who hit him maybe dumped his body elsewhere. Again though, no evidence of this was found, which I feel like if this were the case, there would be blood or a glass or something to indicate this happening. Some think it's possible that Liam wanted to stay out and hitched a ride with a stranger, and then was met with foul play that way. But of course, these are all just theories, as Liam has never been found. This is still an ongoing investigation, but police say his disappearance now appears to be criminal in nature. On Monday, it will have been 1 year exactly since Liam went missing. He hasn't used his phone, bank account, or any of his social media since he disappeared, and his family says that it's not like him to just vanish like this. If you were in the Mont-Tremblant area the first weekend of February 2025, please look at any photos, videos, or dashcam footage that you may have to see if anything stands out. All it takes is one small memory or something that seems out of the ordinary to make a difference and potentially solve this case. Liam was last seen wearing a black and dark green patterned coat, black pants, and a green plaid sweater. All I know is that his family has been relentlessly searching for him, and they won't stop until they bring him home. This is a very popular ski resort where so many people from across the world come and visit. Someone has to know something, and with the season now open again and so many fresh eyes out there, this is a better chance of finding him and bringing him home. Liam's family created this website with more information and what you can do to help. There is currently a $50,000 reward for information leading to his whereabouts. Check this out and show your support, and if you have any information at all, make sure to contact this tip line. But it's now been 1 year since Liam disappeared, and whatever happened to him at that resort remains a mystery.